travel across America in 10, 20, 30 minutes. And so now I want to go into a little more detail about some of these facilities and some of the technology, because again, this is also something I see as a recurring theme. You look into these, what you mentioned, D.U.M.B, right? Deep underground military bases, and that there's been whistleblowers coming out and saying there's vast infrastructures underground with tunnel networks where I've heard people talking about how you can travel across America in 10, 20, 30 minutes, right? That they have different kinds of technology that they're using, that they have a whole hidden underground system where they have, cloning programs, they have all kinds of things that are part of what's happening under there. And so, you had mentioned some of the facilities that you saw that were under the Vatican, but also that tied into a Jesuit facility that I think that your uncle was involved with, but then also how those tunnels then connect to Israel, et cetera. And so describe some of that underground, I guess, technology and infrastructure that you experienced firsthand.
Yeah, this would be called more MK Ultra. So if you saw Stranger Things, I had that weird helmet thing on my head and goggles on, and I was put in machines that spun me so much that, I became highly disoriented. They It was like they had laboratories. So I saw actually a gray down there that was being experimented on. They The Jesuits actually take eggs from a woman and sperm, and they fertilize an embryo in a petri dish, and then they enhance those embryos with certain physical prowess or intellectual abilities or whatever. They implant that fetus into they have women captive in these tunnels who are sadly just there to breed babies. And then when the baby's born, they have the infant watch as they kill the mother, the one who carried the baby to term. And then they raise these children in pods and they train them in different abilities. So I was trained in some of these abilities myself. Like if you ever saw the children's show, The Last Airbender, where these kids, so that's definitely something that they can train. I've been trained with air. So they can train anything, and that's because of the way they raise the children, or children, like I wasn't produced in a lab, but what they do, they can make us into super weapons, have like incredible superpowers. They have technology to take consciousness from a person and put it in a different body. The Jesuits have made chimeras, so that's where they will try to create beings that are part human, part a different animal, and also implant into captive women. Um, they have tested electromagnetic frequencies. And again, they'll test on people and they don't care if the people go crazy or die or suffer hideously. And these then are used on us above ground in the general population. So like the 5G was, of course, tested well beforehand.